Solve w to the fourth plus 35w squared minus 36 equals 0. So in order to solve this particular equation, the first thing we need to notice is that this thing is almost a quadratic, but not quite. However, if I had the middle term being linear, so if I made a substitution to say u equals w squared, then that would make this a linear. But in addition, if I square both sides of this, then I also get u squared equals w to the fourth, which means I can replace w to the fourth with u squared, w squared with u, and everything else stays the same, so plus 35u minus 36 equals 0. And now I do have a quadratic. And that quadratic could be factored. Let's see what we get. So u times u is u squared. 36, if I need two things that multiply to 36 but add to 35, my options are probably pretty limited. So 36 and 1. If the 36 is positive and the 1 is negative, then they would also multiply to negative 36 but add a positive 35. All right, so now I have two linear equations, or two linear pieces that multiply together to give me a product of 0. So that means each one of those can be set to 0 and solved individually. Oops, u minus 1 equals 0. So u equals negative 36, or u equals 1. And the only issue at this point is my original variable was w, but I've solved in terms of u, so to finish the problem out, I need to take the square root of both sides. Because this means u is w squared, and to solve this, I have to take the square root of both sides, and this is u being w squared equals 1. So taking the square root of both sides, let's be careful and make sure that we consider the positive and negative case in those situations, because we're taking the square root of a squared variable. So w equals the plus or minus. Now, 36 is a perfect square. It's just 6. But because it's a negative 36, when we take the square root of a negative number, we invoke the variable I, which is the imaginary number. So this is going to be plus or minus 6i, and over here, 1 is a perfect square, so this is just going to be plus or minus 1. So there are my solutions.